All right, good morning, everybody. Just give a couple minutes, wait for people to join. All right. Just check out some sounds here. Hope everybody is enjoying their Saturday so far. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll just give a couple more minutes and hopefully some more people tune in. Until then, this thing just sounds remarkable. Just want to get into that first. It's just something you could play forever. The presets on here are pretty spectacular. I'm just in the first bank even of presets. All right, I think we can get a little bit more audio here. This might be a little bit better. Let's see how many people you have here. All right. 6 people tuned in. Appreciate you guys as I bump my camera stand here. This opening preset is my favorite. So we're showing the Skulpt Synth SE, the new and improved Skulpt by Modal Electronics. As you'll know, maybe know it immediately if you're familiar with the Skulpt, is a new layout, a little bit easier to kind of unpack. when you're looking at it. And yeah, just for the most important thing as we go through some sounds is just how remarkable the synth sounds for $199. Get my envelope off here. So the Skulpt Synth SE is a four-voice four-voice synthesizer with two oscillator groups. So two groups of oscillators. Each voice has 8 oscillators per voice. And so what that means is you have 32 oscillators that you can tune and detune and spread and do some very creative things with. So to jump in and just show that, let's start with an init patch, and I'll jump over to the Modal App, which is incredibly powerful. Free, we'll get into this later too, but it is a free download. You can it'll work as a VST3 plugin, an audio unit. It'll work on Windows, Apple devices, and it really helps evaporate the learning curve. So obviously you can see more on the screen than you can on the synth itself, but you don't need the app specifically to do anything. But it just helps. It helps speed things up, and you can learn the synth a lot faster. So in this case, when I went to the init sound, I was going to show you the oscillators. So yeah, 2 oscillator groups, 8 oscillators per voice, and it's a 4-voice synth. The wave forms themselves, the 2 actual oscillator groups, are morphing. So if you look up in the oscillator section over on the left, default is a sine. I can morph into a triangle, into a sawtooth, into a square wave, and into pulse width. Now the spread feature lets me start to detune those oscillators in the group. So as I just hold one note, I'll start to turn up the spread. And we're in the supersaw category. And I'm in poly mode, so I'm in 4-voice mode, and I'm only using one voice, like right here. That's just one voice. But you're hearing the 8 oscillators detune. And I'm only using one oscillator group. So if I mix in, let's go to the other, mix in the other oscillator. We'll do a little square wave. We'll bring the tuning up a bit. Watch my levels there. Apologize. Two-pole filter that resonates. And just an absolutely incredible sounding filter. And the response time is pretty remarkable too. We'll go back to the overhead shot here. Endless encoder on all the knobs. Yeah, this absolute lovely sound. That was just an init sound. Let's just put an envelope on that and get a little pad thing going. Lovely. So yeah, 8 oscillators per voice, 4 voices, morphing waveforms. I'm going to jump back to the app as we kind of go through. Back to the unison spread. So this spread feature. So let's just open this filter up a bit. If I keep going past the spread of, like, your super saw-ish, we get into intervals. So thirds, fifths, major, minor, octaves, put a little distortion on that. So the distortion on this synth is incredible. Get my I morphed the filter. We'll get into that in a second. Oh. Oh. So yeah, now I went into octaves on the spread here, so let's bring it back. All right, excellent. So yeah, a lot you can do with this when you start just pulling the oscillators apart. You can get some really interesting chords, using an interval in the spread. Let's back our distortion off a bit so we can hear what we're doing. Go back to low pass filter. So yeah, that was the unison spread in a nutshell. That's this knob right here in the front panel. FM and ring modulation are built in, and you can use those things simultaneously too. So the FM is really nice. You can really dirty up some sounds and add some harmonics to some quote. I'm doing quotes here. Simple sounds. So we have FM, we have ring modulation, that is over here. Let's go back to an init, and let's show the FM just with some sine waves. I mean, that's an init sound FM with just a sine wave. And then we can start to morph that waveform into something that gives us more harmonic content. That is, that's actually awesome sounding. So yeah, FM, ring modulation. We have 3 envelope generators, filter amp and your mod envelope. Those are assignable in the modulation matrix. I'll jump back to the Modal App just to show you there, because it's a lot easier just to get a sense of the control that you have. So 3 different envelopes, 2 audio rate LFOs. One of them is global, and the other is polyphonic. And something very cool about LFO2 is we can get into divisions of, and I'm going to do my best not to butcher this, divisions of the fundamental note that you're playing. So it'll divide by the frequency of the key that you're playing. So let's init it again. Let's pull a sawtooth up, something nice and bright. We'll close the filter a little bit, and let's do some like really fast filter modulation. So here we go. We'll go LFO2. And we'll go to cutoff. You already hear something happening. So here, we're going to get into multiples here of the root note. And basically what we're doing is filter FM. We're treating the LFO like an oscillator. You know, it's in the frequency of the root note, and we can do things like filter FM. So it's another way to get just some, I mean, filter FM will just give you like a nice, kind of a dirty sound. Something I'm a huge fan of, like just gives it a little bit more grit. Wonderful. Let's pull up a preset here. All right. So yeah, of course the LFOs, they're syncable to clock. I got a little into the weeds on LFO2. It's just so cool what you can do with that. Different modes, different wave shapes, so like, you know, we can have it retrigger. It could be free running. What else we got here? Retrigger for in single shot, so you can use it like an additional envelope. So we have, moving on, we have 8 modulation slots, 8 sources with 37 destinations. And we can, you know, talk a little bit about that, but, you know, that's where you assign LFOs to, here in this case, LFO to global tune. LFO2 here. Oh, I'm in single shot. It'll sound a little wonky. I've got it pretty high. Yeah, you get the idea. So, yeah, 8 mod slots, 37 destinations. A very powerful feature. There is a built-in sequencer and also 4 animation lanes that they are called. The easiest way to show you that is on the app here. So let's just clear this sequence out. And so you can save, I believe it's up to 50? Nope, 64 sequences, my mistake. 64 sequences, could be notes, could also be animation data. I'll give you an example. One of my favorite things to do is, let's go load this preset again. One of my favorite things to do with the animator lanes, which it's like a sequencer for parameters. So if I hit record on the Skulpt, so let's get into record mode here. Now, when I start turning any knob, it'll automatically, in record mode, any knob will get put into the next animation lane. So what I'm going to do in this instance is do the fine tune for waveform 1. Perfect. Okay, sorry about the drone note there. I didn't even have to hold the note to do that. So I'm going to clear my the notes out of the sequencer here. So now I'm left. You can see that we just drew in this this tuning, and what I was going for here is kind of a slop effect. So I just did it on oscillator group 1. If I mix over to oscillator group 2, and if I hit play, you're hearing that little bit of that drift. So yes, I could have done that with an LFO. I could have done that with an envelope, and then you also have the spread function here too. But basically, what we did was we made a really fat sound, just kind of randomizing a little bit of detune, and we could do that with waveforms. There's still 3 more animation lanes open. So now. And now if we even start to incorporate the spread, jump back here. We can get some remarkably huge sounds. Just trying to make this more of a pad type thing. Hang on, let me turn something off here real quick. I'm going to do my best to not bump the camera stand anymore. I mean, that's just a remarkable sound. That sounds incredible. Now, I think if, as intelligent people, one thing that you would logically ask yourself is, well, if this synth has a software controller, why would I want a synthesizer when I could just use a plugin? So it's a great question, and it is one that comes up quite often, which is why I wanted to talk about it. So when you have a synth that you can control via software that will interface easily with your computer, you have a synthesizer that can take that workload off of your PC, off of your computer. So let's say you don't have the fastest machine on the planet. What you have is a synth that can do 8 oscillators unison per voice, a 4-voice synth, 8 unison oscillators. I mean, pull that up on a VST and watch what happens to your computer processor. So this will handle the workload for you. So you can do some pretty heavy lifting on this, track that as audio, and then your computer can be left to do the regular things, recording audio, doing dynamics and mixing and reverbs and those types of things. You don't have to use all of your CPU power to make synth sounds. And the sequencer, by the way, is 256 notes, so you can have some pretty long sequences with again, 4 lanes of animation. Important to note, the Skulpt is the Skulpt SE. Of course, you've got 16 keys here. I actually have the local turned off because I don't want any MIDI feedback loops because I am using a controller. But you've got 16 keys here. You can play this just as it is. It is battery powered, 6 AA batteries. It's impressively built and also very lightweight. So yeah, battery powered, 16 keys, and has MPE support, which is very cool. MIDI polyphonic expression. Let's go through some more sounds. This is literally the first preset bank. Like this first preset, I literally could play this sound for hours. Let's go back here to our editor, so we can get a snapshot. You can actually see the patch names easier. Yeah, this one, that opening patch is called Saw Space, and it's a mono patch. Oh, and you know what? That reminds me, I almost glossed over this. You've got multiple playback modes. So mono is basically unison mode. So you're taking all four voices, playing them at once. So it turns into a monophonic synth with 32 oscillators. Just sounds huge. Duo turns into a two-voice synth. So, what is that? 16 oscillators you have per voice. And then, of course, polymode, your four-voice synthesizer. All right. Yeah, that's that opening preset. Preset number 2. Hearing that noise oscillator. Oscillator 2, the square wave goes into noise. It's got that little Pink Floyd on the run feel. Is that it? Is that it on the run? Needs more cowbell. Love it. Yeah, the design definitely is much more sleek. I will totally give you that. It's just easier to digest. Drum courtesy of the Jomox Alpha bass. Am I clipping on my... sorry if I'm sending DC through your speakers right now. Yeah, it's just like, I'm going to say, sorry guys, I'm going to start working on a track right now. No, it's so easy just to like, you pull up a sound. That was the third preset, by the way. What was that one called? Skulpt Me, appropriately titled. Shout out to James High, who did a bulk of these presets on the new Skulpt SE. They're absolutely phenomenal. And another shout out to Modal too. If you, they do these things called modal minutes. We're not going to get too deep into the weeds on like, you know, walking through every single feature. Like, this isn't going to be a video manual, but those do exist. So I highly recommend you follow Modal on their YouTube and Instagram. You'll see their modal minutes and much more longer format in-depth videos. And there's also countless other ones out there too from other people as well. But these presets are very inspiring. My oh my. All right. Yeah, $199. I mean, seriously. Absolutely, sonically exceeds its price point by a spectacular margin. Speaking of, worth mentioning too, you can polychain these. So if 4 voices isn't enough and you want more, you can polychain up to 4 for 16 voices. Well, let's get a little deeper on the filter. Actually, let's take a look at that. So the filter, 2-pole resonant low-pass filter, absolutely silky smooth sounding. But it is morphable, so we can morph from low pass into band pass and right through to high pass. And this is something that could be automated as well. So you could put this on an LFO, you could put that on an envelope. As a matter of fact, let's do that right now. That would sound cool if we put that on the mod envelope. Alright, so look at, we got a spare spot here. So I want, not mod wheel. Mod envelope. Morph. And let's make this really dramatic. We can always back it off. Alright. Let's do a modest attack and a long decay. Or medium attack. Let's turn our filter envelope down here. Oh shoot, I picked resonance. I was like, something does not sound right. Let's put some on here. We're just having fun here. I'm not sure that reminds me of Future Sound of London a bit, but it does. I mean, my goodness, that really sounds spectacular. Let's put some FM in. Get some FM in this. Already a lot going on, so okay. Ring mod? What can we do here? Wow. All right, let's move on. Preset 6. This is a nice bass sound. Thank you, Mr. Anthony Grohl. Yeah, if that's your real name. It is. It is a huge sounding synth. Oh, I got some clocking issues. Let's see here. Just a little kick and a clap. Or a snap. Let's get some distortion on this here. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's so easy to get lost on this. It really is. I do like that preset. That bass is pretty awesome. Agree. Wow. Wow. All right. Well, can we have a any? Well, let's keep going on sounds. Not even. There's 5 of you here. A little random, but I'll share. I built this little Ableton device, so every time I hit if I hit a chord, or hit a note, it'll spit out a random chord and then run it through a scale. That way I don't have to worry about like playing riffs while I'm talking and also tweaking stuff. So. So the things you can do within your DAW with this, I mean, I guess that's kind of where I also wanted to go. Spectacular. If 3 envelopes, 2 LFOs, if that in 4 lanes of animation, if that's not enough for you, if you're using this as a VST or AU plugin, you can automate any one of these within your DAW. And if you use Ableton, as an example, with Max for Live, you can add more LFOs. You can add additional envelopes, and it's powerful. I've gone nuts. It's even on our Instagram where you can watch. I've got like 9 different parameters being automated at just insane rates, and the synth handles it. It doesn't get choked up. It doesn't, start to skip, or it just works. All right, where are we at here? Preset 9 is. Let's hear the sounds with some ring mod. That could be cool. Ooh, little. Oh, that sounds like a wave. That sounds wavetable. Like. So we could confirm it does do hard wobs if you're into the dubsteps. Is that what kids are calling it these days? All right. Let's get some FM going. Put our mix back so we can actually hear what we're doing. That is a cool sound. First bank of presets. Ooh. Let's see what we can do here. I hope you're listening to this with headphones or speakers. If you're on your phone, that you're not even gonna. You can be like, I don't even know what's happening. Wow. That is as analog as anything I've ever heard before. I swear, if you told me this was the 008, which is their Modal's $5,000 analog 8-voice polysynth, I would totally believe you. Yeah, the Joe Mox kick. Yeah, why not? And I got a little 808 pattern here I made. Here's a cake I baked earlier. Can't go wrong with some 808 drums and a Joe Mox kick drum, pretty much ever. Yeah. All right. We could, I don't know, what do you guys want to see? Let's, let's lay down a bass line. And, let's see. I made this little... a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. All right, let's record this. Just track that little bit as audio. Let's duplicate this track. Oh, I stopped the wrong one. Let's see. That needs some more reverb. Let's hear. All right, let's not overthink it. Let's just put a little idea down here. I didn't like that. Try a different sound here. Ah, it's perfect. comes back. Sure, why not? Let's try this one more time. You know, it's all right. I should be, arguably I should be sequencing this and not just like tracking it live and winging it, but the sounds are there, like, holy cow. Simple. That's just 3 tracks on the Skulpt. Hey, that's not bad at all, actually. That sounds really good. Where am I at here? I need to duplicate a track so we can get back to some sounds. I thought some like white noise kind of thing would be cool, just like a psh, some splashy. And I think we have the technology. Let's do like an init patch or. And some noise on Oscillator. Cool. Do a little filter envelope. And get out of shift mode. I'm working on the synth itself here. Let's see. Oh, that's my amp. Wrong envelope. There we go. Now we're going to roll off some of that low end. Arguably, I could do this with an EQ, but we could just morph the filter. Here we go. So, let's see. There we go. We're close. I kind of just went into bandpass mode. Now let's put some distortion on that. And then I think we'll be there. So I don't need to like go all the way to the end. Do this. I can loop that. Boom. 4 tracks. I mean, 4 individual layers that we recorded. And can I show you this? Here, let me. I got to get the Modal app out of the way, and I can just show you what we basically did here. These are the 4 tracks. These in orange right here. If I solo it, I can't. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna hear me. The arpeggios right here. Yeah. Shout out to that Joe Mox kick drum. That's a nice little noise splash there. Thank you, Anthony. Don't need to save that. We got it as audio, and it's an easy sound to make, so moving on. All right, we didn't even make it through the first bank of presets. I mean, like, that's how inspiring this is. Hold up. What's going on with my audio here? Well, I don't think I'm going to top that right now, at least on the fly. I don't know if lightning is going to strike twice, but we can keep going through some sounds. If there's anything you want to recap, we can talk about it. Oh, I did crank up. What you are hearing there right now is what is that plugin? Oh, Guitar Rig. This kind of like space echo kind of sound. It's nice. Yeah, once you start sequencing with it and get it in your DAW and start processing it and adding effects, it comes to life. Holy cow. Wow, we finally made it to the first bank. Well, hey, if we don't have any questions, we're gonna spend an hour. It's been fun. I guess we'll start to end it here. Just a couple more sounds, okay? Ooh, some reverse aftertouch here. That's always cool. James. Great patch. It's a good patch. We got a little FM here. We have some detune to a major third. Everybody.